Think about learning a new craft. The best way to pick it up isn't reading a manual in an empty room. It happens by gathering around a shared table, working side by side with people who can show you the ropes. Real progress happens when the skills you've picked up don't stay trapped with one person, but flow out to everyone you work with, making the whole group more capable. It's the work of taking your individual AI habits and sharing them across different teams so they actually stick. It's tempting to think we can check this box by running a quick afternoon workshop or simply buying everyone a software license. But if you rely on those steps alone, you usually end up with unused software and a frustrated team. If you drop a pristine, complex tool onto someone's desk without explaining how it fits into their specific daily tasks, they likely won't use it. Without context, the technology feels like a distraction, not a help. Success means setting up the right conditions. It's about designing an environment where your team feels supported, equipped, and safe enough to actually apply these tools to their real-world work. Building that environment starts with how we teach. Delivering the exact same training to every person in a company doesn't work. Senior leadership needs to see the big picture possibilities and the risks. They don't need to know the fine details of how to write a prompt. Managers sit in a different spot. They need enough hands-on experience to judge the quality of the work a tool produces, so they can confidently guide their teams through the change. This three-tiered pyramid shows how information should flow. The top handles the wide strategy, and the middle directs the flow. Down at the base, the people doing the daily hands-on work need practical role-specific skills tailored to the exact tasks they do every day. Once the training matches the role, you have to look at the tool itself. Out-of-the-box AI software is usually built for a general consumer. Before you hand it to your team, it needs to be set up with your company's specific context, your data rules, and safety guardrails. When you tailor education to the person and the tool to the work, the technology snaps neatly into the worker's existing environment and daily responsibilities. The fastest way to share what works is through shared patterns. Think of a pattern as a reusable recipe for a common task. It's an adaptable starting point, not a rigid rule. If we look closely at this blueprint on the wood, we can see what makes a pattern useful. It clearly states the task, shows the structure of the approach, provides a real example, and lists the trouble spots, the specific things to watch out for so the next person doesn't get stuck. To make these patterns actually spread, they need to be easy to find. Setting up a shared, searchable digital library ensures that a great technique discovered by one team can be used by everyone else. But even with great guides, people will hit roadblocks. You need clear support paths in place before people need them. Without a designated helper to ask, a struggling employee will either waste hours alone or just give up on the tool entirely. There is also the matter of culture. If people are afraid of looking incompetent or making a mistake in front of their boss, they simply won't experiment. That fear stops them from building any real skill. When you see resistance to these new tools, treat it as feedback rather than an obstacle. Often, the best way to help someone who is skeptical is to offer a safe, low-stakes entry point. Let them try it out on a task where a mistake has no consequences. By sharing proven patterns and giving people the space to learn through small failures, you take isolated moments of success and weave them into a capability that the whole team shares. To know if any of this is really working, you need to keep your ear to the ground. Regular check-ins with team leads and short surveys tell you if the tools are being used, what roadblocks exist, and what new ideas are emerging from the group. As people learn, they start talking. Informal community building, like a chat channel for peer learning or celebrating the wins of early adopters, spreads knowledge much faster than any mandate from management. This matrix tracks that success. We look at how many people are using the tool on the bottom axis and how deeply it's woven into their daily work on the vertical axis. You want to see people moving from just drafting occasional emails to using AI for their most important tasks. As we look at this multiplying equation, we see the real impact. If you measure the time saved on those important tasks and then multiply that extra time across the whole company, the value of the training becomes clear. When you reach the point where knowledge flows freely between peers and teams are sharing new tricks on their own without being told to, the culture has successfully changed. The habit has become self-sustaining. The specific software we use today will inevitably change. New tools will replace the current ones. But the human mechanics of how we learn them together, side by side, remain exactly the same. You cannot force genuine change through mandates. It only happens when you invite people into a supportive process where they can see the personal value for themselves. A successful shop is always built on an open, collaborative environment. So when the next new tool arrives, the best thing you can do is pull up a chair and make room at the table.